Hello everybody and welcome back to No One But You. Today we'll be doing the Chinatsu route, which is that girl there that just disappeared. So start a new game, and we'll be speeding on along until we get to the options for her. Now we always said leave at this point, so now we're gonna actually talk to her. I started walking towards Chinatsu. Mind if I sit down? Oh god, I don't even know her voice. What did I do for her voice? This is gonna be interesting. I don't know what to do for her voice. Oh, Hideki. Not at all. Chinatsu seems a little down. The view sure is breathtaking. Looks like the sun is hiding inside the river. It's a pretty sight. I've lived here for years now, yet I still haven't gotten used to it. Used to what? How beautiful all of this is. Would it be too cheesy to compare Chinatsu's beauty to that of the scenery? Yeah, that goes to the just above cheesy. Given my jokes from earlier, I might really be classified as a stalker. Even so, I probably should say something. I guess start a conversation? No, quack like a duck. That seems like the stupidest choice to make here. But it could end up... No. What do I do? You know what? I'm going to get a second input from the guy sitting across from me.
Oh, valued clay blocks.
We have Sky Undead here. Now, which one should I pick? Quack like a duck, make an excuse to leave, or start a conversation?
Okay. Are you trying to bone her?
Yes.
Okay. What was the conversation up to this point?
Basically awkward silence, because he tried comparing the scenery to her beauty.
Okay. Start a conversation. Don't be a tool. But it is a Japan-based visual novel, so she works in animes, so that's my opinion.
Okay, I'm just gonna start a conversation. Maybe I should try talking to her? Say, what do you like to do around here in your free time? I like to read and swim. Other than that, nothing really. Video games? No, not really. I'm not interested in such things. Disowned! Disowned! You're in a video game! Disowned!
She's in a book. You're disowned.
Oh well, worth a shot. Okay, yeah, I remember you saying that you had a club meeting this morning. Yes, I'm in the literate club. Why not the swimming club? You said you like to swim, right? I only like to swim for fun. I don't really like competitive sports. I'm with you there. How are you supposed to enjoy yourself if you're always fighting someone for the top position? Yes, that's what I think as well. Chinatsu and I continued to speak as we sat there, looking at the sunset. It's getting late, isn't it? I should be heading home now. Thank you for keeping me company. No problem. Chinatsu stood up and fixed her clothes. I'll see you at school tomorrow. With those parting words, she waved goodbye and walked away. After Chinatsu had already left, I sat there looking at the view for another few minutes before thinking about leaving. I suppose I should head home too, before Mom thinks I've been kidnapped or something. After all, she has always been overprotective. I stood up and started heading home. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. That could have just... No, it didn't screw it over. Okay. Sorry, just checking something. When I finally returned home, Mom was on the phone. I'd hoped we could talk a little, but Mom seems busy, and I don't want to disturb her. I suppose I'll just see what she made for dinner instead. Fried fish. It'll do. I suppose. I grabbed the dish and took it up to my room. And we can just skip ahead. Stay in class, because I don't want to deal with this stuff. I'm just making the options so that I can skip ahead. Leave. Go to the bridge. Oh, wow, the third one shows up. Wow. The third musketeer just showed up, guys.
He's YouTubing.
YouTubing?
Yes.
Is that even a word?
Oh, I guess if you put it in Urban Dictionary.
You're an Urban Dictionary.
Well, sit down.
I don't know where to sit down.
Don't be a whore.
Be a whore.
I don't want to sit down.
Yeah.
My ass hurts. You were done it last night.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, I guess what Andrew just said just came true.
Yeah. We were talking about Alex's non-sex life. He's like, and Andrew's like, he only fucks Nate. So.
Wearing Tyler's hat, I see. Go to the bridge. Okay.
I left it at my house like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't know where it is.
Yeah.
So fuck him.
Yeah. Why not? I still have some time to spare.
And I'm hacking his video so he
Records.
records a softcore in the book.
Besides, there's nothing wrong with taking the scenic route now and then.
Don't you?
I'm making it so I can give him any Pokemon in the game.
It's always nice to walk by these trees. And it's so quiet here. I wonder why so few people use this road. I pretty much have it all to myself.
So why can't
Or at least I would if it weren't for a certain someone.
Bitch.
Good morning, Chinatsu. Chinatsu turned around startled. Oh, Hideki-kun, it's you. Don't you dare say anything or I will slap you.
macaroni and cheese?
Chinatsu doesn't sound too lively. I'm sorry, did I startle you? Oh no, don't be. I just got lost in my own thoughts. I suppose you brought me back to the real world. Apparently so. How are you today? Oh, I'm good. I'm just tired from studying. Oh my, it's only your second week here and you're already studying that hard. You must be smart. Oh, me? Nah, I wouldn't say that. A genius at gaming, perhaps. Though, if that were the case, I wouldn't need to stay up night after night just to make progress. At any rate, we should start going to school now. We don't want to be late. Yes, you're right. Let's go. I'm going to hurt you, boy. Here we are. Thanks for walking with me to school, Hideki. I really appreciate it. I am going to hurt you both. You're sleeping here tonight. I can make you sleep outside. This is... No, guys. This is why you do not record when you have friends over.
Because he's so underfooted
Oh, don't sweat it.
It's all in games, you don't want me.
Really, don't. All I did was force myself on you. What? What?
That's good.
Anyway, I should head to class now. Before you go, I wanted to ask you something. You aren't a freshman, are you? I haven't seen you in any of the classes. Chinatsu paused for a second. I'm actually a sophomore. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was just confused. I'll see you later, Chinatsu. Bye. You showed up and now he's starting.
I was starting before he showed up. I was just controlling myself. Now,
Control yourselves! We both went our separate ways and I headed to class.
I bet you're gonna get a shit ton of likes on that one.
of course.
As I approached my classroom, I heard footsteps creeping up on me from behind. Oh man, this had better not be Megami again. I swear, of all the stalkers I've had, she has to be the... So I'm just going to skip ahead from that. So, there's that. Oh, they're being buggers. Don't bother her. Go to the bridge. And this is where I fall in the water, and it's 29 days later. It doesn't really matter what I choose here. Because, like, this is the option that really matters. I suppose it is about time we were reunited. I can't let that dream control me forever, after all. I walked towards Chinatsu and sat down next to her. Hey there. Oh, hello there, Hideki. It feels like it's been a while since we last spoke. Yeah, sorry about that. I've kind of been avoiding this bridge ever since I started having this weird dream. A dream? What was it about? Maybe sharing it with me will make you feel better. Sharing it with Megami didn't really help, but I suppose it's worth a shot. Chinatsu is far more mature than Megami. After all, I'm sure she'll know what to do. Well, it's a strange dream. It's a recurring dream, one which always feels totally real. So it's with me going to school, and as usual, I told Chinatsu everything, down to even the smallest detail. And that's what happened. I know it seems stupid, but it really did unsettle me. Chinatsu turned away for a second, then looked back at me. That sounds scary. I would feel the same way if I had that dream. Damn, even someone as mature as Chinatsu feels that way. But ultimately, it's just a dream. It doesn't really have to mean anything. Dreams are usually random, as such dreams occur because of some sort of stress. You shouldn't give it much thought. I don't like seeing you see. What? I don't like seeing you distorted like that. That is bigger grammar. Big grammar. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I feel like I've just been rambling this whole time. Sorry. Don't be. I'm glad you shared that with me. Chinatsu smiled and turned away from me. So as to look at the sunset, I always like this time of day when the sun starts setting. It's really nice to see it from here, isn't it? Yeah. Chinatsu's right. I can't let a silly dream like that ruin this place for me. No matter how scary that dream might be, it's still just a dream, nothing more. Chinatsu and I sat together a while watching the sun set. Before we knew it, day had turned into night, and it was time to head home. Alright, ready to go. Come on, I'll walk you home. And this time I'll actually get you there, not just take you halfway. There's no need for that. Nonsense, I'd like to walk you there, even if it's far away. Let's keep going. I started walking ahead, and after a few seconds, despite her reluctance, Chinatsu followed me. After walking together for a while, Chinatsu seemed to become nervous. Actually, I should go the rest of the way myself. Once again, Chinatsu insisted on going home by herself. This time around, however, her eyes seemed to be straining, as if she were holding back tears. Are you sure? It's not a lot. Yes, I'm sure. Go on home now, Hideki. She called me Hideki-san. That's strange. Okay. I'll see you later. That sure was odd. As I began walking home alone, I started to think about how weird Chinatsu was acting. All we did today was talk about my dreams, my problems, but Chinatsu seemed to be the one really shaken up. Chinatsu? Yes? Without a moment's hesitation, I called out to Chinatsu. Ah, damn it, I didn't think about what I would say. Be careful. Okay. Smooth, Hideki. Real smooth. Yeah, I'm not gonna follow a girl covertly. That would make her think I'm more of a stalker than she already thinks. After a long day, at long last, after a day of pining and worrying, I made it home. I settled down, engaged in my usual banter with my mother, then sat down for dinner. Well, now we will skip ahead to the next part. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. Because I'm going down the Chinatsu route, or at least I'm hoping to. And if I screwed up some of the... screwed up on some of the... what's it called? Choices, then I'll go back and fix them, so I am actually on her route. Go by the bridge. Yeah, I'll go by the bridge. I can't keep running from my dreams forever. I covered the bridge and started to watch the water flow. I took the river with Chinatsu, who was sitting right beside it. I resisted the urge to call out to her, and instead watched on as she sat there, feeling the rushing river water between her fingers. I don't know what it is, but I have a deep feeling inside of me. Like I've seen this before. Now she looked over at the bridge and noticed me standing there. She waved and started walking towards me. Hey there, Chinatsu. Good morning, Hideki. No, stop. Get out. Go. Get out. You can both leave until I'm done recording, if you're gonna act like this. You can both leave until I'm done recording if you keep this up.
Here are my ducks.
Hideki, how have you been here? Have you been here for long? Telling Chinatsu that I've been standing here watching her might not be the best course of action. No, I just got here. I see. What is it? I don't know. Something feels off about you today. Crap, did she see through my lie that easily? Oh, really? I wonder what it might be. Finals are almost here, so I guess that's stressing me out a little bit. Have you started preparing for them? Oh, the finals, yeah, of course. I figured as much. Yesterday I had this little study group with 2 girls from my class, but that didn't go at all as I expected. Well, what do you mean? Things suddenly got heated between the 2 of them, and then they both stormed off. Oh, I see. I wanted to call you and invite you over, but you don't have a cell phone. Yeah, I still don't have one. Maybe you should ask your parents for one or something. Hold on. Okay, good. You're not in the camera. Go upstairs then.
No, he's my friend too. He's allowed to have you.
I'll try asking them. Get out of the camera, Josh. That was Hopeless Wish, everybody.
Sup? Or as he introduced me earlier, Sky Undead. So, hi.
Yeah, now get out. Shoot. You're supposed to be doing something right now. No, give it back.
Sup, player?
No, it's either you give that back. Thank you.
That was a nice toss, too.
That was a pretty good toss. I hope that didn't come out as pushy. Anyway, were you on your way to school? You've been using this path on and off for a while now. Well, you're here most of the time, so I come by here with the hope of seeing you. Oh, that sounded way more intense than I intended it to be. Let's just get going. We don't want to be late. Oh, okay. Here we are. Yep, we made it with time to spare. I should head to class. I might come by the club today. Oh, okay. If you do, then I'll see you there. Yeah, goodbye for now. Bye. Wow, smooth. Stay in class. Go to the literary club. I should probably pay the club room a visit. I don't want to become a member in name only. I walked into the hallway and started heading towards the club room.
Oh yeah, but the extra deck is where the fun is.
Yo, Misaki-senpai. Oh, Hideki, you scared me for a second there. What's with the formalities? I don't know, just for fun, I guess. I walked inside after closing the door behind me, then sat on the couch. I didn't think I'd find you in the club room, since I came here straight after class. Even so, you still beat me here. Seems like I'm faster than you, Hideki. You probably are, considering how out of shape I am, but I'd say the real reason is that the club room is on the same floor as your classroom. Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that as if you didn't already know. Of course I did. I was just messing with you. Yeah, I should have seen that one coming. So, Chinatsu. Yes? Why don't we continue what we started last time? What, did we do something last time? What, when, how? I'm talking about the short story. Oh, Lone Universe? Yes, Chinatsu. Yes, okay, that makes much more sense. More sense than what? Chinatsu walked over to the window and picked up the novel that was sitting right next to it. Alright, should I begin reading? Wait, let me get more comfortable. Okay, much better. Don't you fall asleep. Don't worry, I won't. Okay, let's continue. The boy grew closer and closer to his destination. As he got close enough, he started looking around. The cottage wasn't big, but at the same time it wasn't very small either. It looked just right to him. The boy walked through the door and knocked 3 times. But there was no answer. Again the boy knocked 3 times. No answer. Just as the boy was about to leave, he heard the door being unlocked. A little girl was looking at him from the small gap between the door. Hello, little one. Do you live here by yourself? The boy said. She shook her head. As she did, the little boy and another girl came to the door. The girl who opened the door and the other boy looked younger than me, thought the boy to himself. But the blonde girl is probably the same age as me, if not 1 year older. The 3 of us live here, said the blonde girl. The boy told the 3 of them about his situation and how he was lost. Nowhere to go, just walking aimlessly, he came across the small cottage. Not knowing the reason why, the blonde girl invited him in and said he could stay for however long he wanted. Maybe they felt pity for me, the boy thought, or maybe they just want to help me. The boy was confused, but at the same time he was happy that he found a place to stay and people to interact with. The cottage wasn't very big from the inside, but 4 people could fit nicely in it. Some of the walls were patched up, and there was only one window looking out the back side of the cottage. 3 of them had the table ready. The boy wasn't hungry, but there was something about eating food with others that made him do it. The boy was happy with the cottage. He liked the place, and the people in it. And so he started staying there. But after time passed, he wasn't just staying, he was living there. It became his home. The four of them were so happy together. They would always play outside and run down the big meadows, only to come back when the sun went down and gather around a small fire while talking all night. Many days and nights went by. They were having so much fun that they didn't even keep track of time. But that didn't last. One day the boy decided to go to sleep early instead of sitting next to the fire. And when he woke up, the three kids were nowhere to be seen. The boy walked over to the window and looked outside. No one was there. The cottage was empty, and the wind howling strongly between the wooded cracks. For the first time he realized how scary that place was. He walked to the door and went outside, hoping to find one of them, but he was sure he was the only one there. And that's the end of Act 2. We should stop here for now. Oh, what? Things are just getting deep. I wonder what happened. It's pretty interesting, isn't it? It sure is. I never thought I'd like this type of story this much. I knew you would like it. Then you know me better than I know myself.
They're self-aware. Kill them.
I should hope so.
What, they're self-aware?
No, not that they're self-aware. That'd be really fucked up.
They're self-aware that they're in a visual novel. That's fucked up.
I'm really digging this whole club thing. You make it seem really fun. The bell already rang, so I should hurry back to class before my teacher loses it. Yes, I should do the same. I'll try and see you later, and if not, I'll see you after the exams. Good luck with your studies, Chinatsu. You too, Hideki. Bye. When waving Chinatsu a final farewell, I walked over to the door and headed back to class. Now it's time to skip ahead again. Stay in class. Leaving with Ryo will put me down that path. I don't want to go that path.
Alex, fuck her right in the pussy.
No.
Okay. Gay freeze. Confirmed.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I'm late. The moment the bus began to move, a soft voice drew my attention away from Megami and Ryo. I lifted my head, glancing at the front of the coach, finally spying the fifth and final member of my circle of friends. So Chinatsu made it after all, huh? I was beginning to think she'd be the only one to miss out. Chinatsu fiddled with the hem of her skirt and glanced around anxiously. The teachers didn't acknowledge her, nor did any of my classmates. They all continued chatting, oblivious to her presence. Maybe this is why Chinatsu didn't want to go on the trip to begin with. Putting that aside, how poorly she does with crowds, being ignored like that can't make her feel any less anxious. I looked at the person sitting next to me, silently contemplating my escape from Ryo's side. As I checked out the remaining seats, however, I realized that the seats next to Yui was the only one left. Even if I managed to ditch Ryo, I wouldn't be able to sit next to Chinatsu.
Hey, Alex. She has big titties.
True that.
Work, damn it.
And I know there's no chance of that happening given who I'm sitting next to. I looked at Chinatsu and smiled in an apologetic manner, just shrugging my shoulders. She caught my gaze and smiled back as she walked towards the back of the bus, taking the only remaining seat as she did. Yui, captivated by her handheld gaming console, didn't even seem to notice as Chinatsu sat next to her, ignoring the girl as naturally as everybody before her. I guess that's the fate of a latecomer, huh? Oh well, I'm sure things will turn around once we get to the resort. Damn it, Ryo! I told you, you can't move that way. I think I just made... I know. That was out of context and it was the best. I'm gonna go in later. Nah. As I wondered where Ryo might have gone, one other possibility popped into my mind. He couldn't be going for a late night dip, could he? The hot springs are bound to be quiet at this time of night. It's actually the perfect time to go in. I'm not sure if we're allowed in at this time of night, but if we are... Huh, the lights are off. I guess Rio isn't here. Oh well, that just means I get the place all to myself. Isn't it beautiful? Huh? Despite being convinced that I was alone, another presence made itself known. In front of me stood a person who, no matter how much I wanted to talk to them, I couldn't. Chinatsu? Yes, Hideki? Chinatsu looked at me with confused eyes. What are you doing here so late? Were you about to get in the hot springs? Not exactly. I didn't come here to bathe. I just wanted to look at the stars. The stars, huh? You like looking at the stars, Chinatsu? Yes, a little. It's a nice night tonight, so you can see them quite clearly. Looking at them is relaxing. It always calms me down. Wow, that's actually a really nice CG. Chinatsu turned her gaze away from me, up towards the night sky. Do you know what all the stars are called? No, of course not. There are more stars out there than any human can count, let alone name. Oh, I see. What about that one? That's a pair, right? Pointed out one star at random, trying to dredge up names from my elementary school science lessons. No, silly, that isn't a pair. That isn't a star at all, seriously. I didn't expect to correctly guess the name of a star I picked at random, but I thought I'd at least point to an actual star. What is it then? An asteroid, a comet, a moon? No, Hideki, it's none of those things. Okay, so my guess wasn't a complete embarrassment. It probably is a star, but with some obscure distinction that only a real enthusiast would. That's Venus. It's a freaking planet?
Or a planet.
You're bigger than I am. It is a little dim. You can only see Venus on nights like this, when the sky is clear of clouds. Can you not see it in Okutama? Sometimes. Okutama is only a small town. But some of the factories on the outskirts fill the sky with smoke, making it hard to pick out some of the stars and planets. You get a much clearer look here, all the way out in the countryside. That's why I wanted to come out here at night. Huh. So it's the same sky, but when you look at it from a different position, you can see things you couldn't before. That's exactly right. It sounds rather meaningful when you phrase it like that, doesn't it? Like something from a Sosuke Natsume novel. Did you know the moon is beautiful tonight? Chinatsu giggled at my quote. Couldn't you think of anything more original? I'm sorry, I'm not the best when it comes to my classics. That's all I know. All the Natsume I know. At least I know a bit more about him than I do about the stars. It's alright. This isn't a test or anything, I'm just... Chinatsu turned to face me, blushing with a smile on her face. I'm glad I was able to talk to you, Hideki. I wanted to since the moment I got on the bus, but I didn't get a chance. Oh, don't worry about that. I'm sorry that I asked you to come here and then I wasn't even able to spend any time with you. I should have made more of an effort. You don't need to apologize. We're together now, aren't we? Yeah, that's right. We are together now. I just hope we can keep on meeting like this, be it on the bridge in Okutama or underneath the stars. I felt restless all day, but now that I'm finally by your side, I feel completely at ease. I'm not sure how that happened, but I think I might have started to fall in love with Chinatsu. Wow! Achievement unlocked. Chinatsu admiring the stars. Oh. finally having a chance to meet with Chinatsu, I slept well as the rest of the night passed by peacefully. We talked for a while, chatting randomly about stars, the hot springs, and anything else that came to mind. And when Chinatsu started yawning, we both called it a night, returning to our separate rooms. I'm glad I was able to meet up with Chinatsu. For a while there, I thought we'd be separated the entire trip. Luckily, thanks to a mistake on her part, we were able to spend some alone time together, unimpeded by my other friends. We should definitely find back time to do that again. And we are now able to skip ahead to Memories of the Past. That is Chinatsu's arc. The only upside of the whole trip was getting to speak with Chinatsu. And with the trip now coming to an end, that may remain the high point. Not that that's a bad thing, of course. There's nothing wrong with time spent with friends. Nonetheless, for such a rare trip to pass by so quickly and without incident, I really do feel like I missed out on something here. After packing our things and regretfully leaving the resort, the bus ride back to Okutama proved uneventful. The bus was mostly quiet, with students no doubt tired from the trip, making our return much more pleasant. Furthermore, with Ryo nowhere to be found and making me too tired to cause a fuss, I was even able to get some sleep. Thanks to that, although many hours had passed by, the bus ride felt like it had ended in a matter of minutes, and I woke up refreshed and ready to walk home. Rather than return straight home, I decided to pass by Chinatsu's bridge, spurred on by our late-night rendezvous the previous night. I hadn't expected to see Chinatsu there, of course. Like everyone else from school, she should have gone straight home. And yet, the moment I arrived at the bridge, there she was. I should have known she'd be here. How many times have I met her on this bridge anyway? Can't even remember. I feel like it's quickly becoming a routine. Chinatsu's presence on this very bridge seems to be becoming a permanent fixture of Okutama, just like the trees, or the houses, or the street lamps. Hey there, Chinatsu. Chinatsu turned around, brushing a few strands of hair out of her eyes, as she did, and offered me a smile of her own. Hello there, Hideki-kun. Not displaying any surprise at all, Chinatsu casually returned my greeting, almost as though she had been expecting me. I don't know how, but Chinatsu's greetings always seem to make me feel like she's been waiting for me. Where are you going? Yeah. You're standing by the bridge again, huh? It may seem like a silly statement, but I am kind of curious about that. Most students would head straight home after a trip like that, but not us two, apparently. Yes, well, it's kind of nostalgic, I suppose. Nostalgic? Did you come here a lot when you were younger? Not particularly. Honestly, I just like the sound of the running water. Chinatsu smiled sheepishly, playing with her hair as she spoke. Though my parents would probably find that statement morbid. Morbid? What do you mean? Though running water can be beautiful, it is also dangerous. I should know that better than anybody, really. But it doesn't stop me from coming back here. I see. But didn't you say you were a good swimmer? That's right. I'm glad you remembered, Hideki-kun. It's not a big deal. Chinatsu only seemed to be interested in reading and swimming, so it wasn't hard to remember. You know, Chinatsu looked up at me from beneath her long eyelashes. She blinked shyly and tried to find the words, displaying an unbelievable cute side of herself. I've been wondering something. Are there any reasons for standing by this bridge? Why do you so often come to spend time with me here? Don't you find it boring? I suppose it is kind of strange for two teenagers to always just stand around a bridge like this. Of course not. If I found it boring, I wouldn't be coming back here. But I thought maybe you were coming here out of obligation because I'm always on my own. When you say obligation, you mean like those chocolates girls always give to guys they don't really like on Valentine's Day? Yes, exactly like that. Well, you don't need to worry. I don't consider spending time with you to be a chore. In fact, I actually enjoy it. I'm glad to hear that. I was frightened that I may be becoming a burden to you. Why would you think that? She's the one burdening me. I'm the one always bothering Chinatsu, forcing myself on her. I don't know, I just feel like you're such a nice person, Hideki. You're the sort of person who would sacrifice their free time for the sake of others, even if you didn't enjoy it. How odd. I never thought Chinatsu's self-esteem was this poor. Then again, I don't actually know that much about Chinatsu, despite the number of times we've spoken. You aren't a burden, silly. Aren't we supposed to be friends? Friends? Chinatsu repeated the words slowly, holding her hands to her chest. It took her a few minutes for it to finally sink in, but once it did, thank you, Hideki-kun. I am very flattered that you think of me as a friend. To be honest, I don't have many of them. I can't think why not. You're good company, Chinatsu. And pretty, but I know better than to say that out loud. Heck, I'm getting flustered just thinking it. I don't think I've met a person like you before. When I'm with you, I feel like all my worries start to melt away. You're flattering me. I'm really not that special. Maybe not in the general grand scheme of things, but so what? I'm not special either. Most people aren't. And the people in this world who are special, like my mother, are actually kind of hard to deal with. I still haven't forgiven her for taking me skydiving back then. Chinatsu giggled, holding one hand to her mouth. Your mother sounds very interesting. She is, and it can be pretty entertaining. But seriously, at that time, I really thought I was going to die. If nothing else, that skydiving escapade taught me to value my own life more. Well, I'm okay with not being special. I've never been the one to seek the limelight. And I don't need to be recognized by a lot of people, judges. I just want my existence to be recognized by at least one person. Just one person. What is that supposed to mean? Has Chinatsu never felt close to anybody? What about her friends, teachers, or even her parents? Maybe it's because she's so quiet that she sinks into the background, and other people don't notice her. But even if Chinatsu says she's okay with that, I can't believe her. After all, how many people, including extreme introverts, are truly content with leading such isolated lives? In reality, I think that Chinatsu does want someone by her side, someone to talk to confide in. And if that really is the case, then I'll be glad if that person is me. I'm happy that I met you, Hideki. I really am. I couldn't think of a better friend to have. I opened my mouth to respond, but no words came out. I could feel my cheeks heating up as I stared at Chinatsu, wondering about what she just said. Was that a confession? Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but Chinatsu's voice is so soft, and her cheeks are flushed light pink. Can't help but wonder, is her heart pounding just as much as mine? I realized myself that I like Chinatsu. I like her a lot. That's why I keep returning to this bridge, drawn like an iron filing to a magnet. Chinatsu and I never talk about anything particularly riveting, both being decidedly unspecial in our own ways, but I wouldn't trade those moments of idle conversation I've spent with Chinatsu for the world. I like being with Chinatsu because I like her. This might be a bit too early, especially given that Chinatsu is so shy, and I need to tell her now how I feel. These emotions have been building up within me for a while now, and I don't think I can keep them to myself anymore. My heart just can't take it anymore. Chinatsu, I swallow my saliva, trying to wet my dry throat. I don't know if I'll be able to confess to her verbally, but a physical gesture should be good enough, right? I'm not going to kiss her, that would be far too sudden. Maybe if I could just hold her hand. That's not too forward, is it? I reach out, my fingertips twitching in the evening cold. Chinatsu was so close, staring at me with wide eyes, blushing just as much as I was. My fingers drew closer to her right hand until finally, Chinatsu suddenly let out a breath, breathed the exclamation that made me jump. She retracted her hand, held it to her chest, started staring at me in disbelief. Was that too forward after all? I'm sorry, Hideki, but I have to go now. Without another word, Chinatsu turned around and left. Chinatsu, wait! I called out to her, reaching out my hand. But as I did, I realized that I had no plan. What am I doing? It's not like I can physically restrain her. If casual contact was too much for her, what would Chinatsu think about me suddenly grabbing her wrist? Not that it matters now anyway, she's already gone. I leaned back against the steel railings of the bridge, relaxing my arms by my side. That expression on Chinatsu's face, I don't think I'll forget it. She just looked surprised. Chinatsu looked horrified, as though I were a predator. Was it because of what I did? Did I really go too far? As I pondered my actions, I thought back to a manga I read in the past. It was a story about a shy girl so terrified of the opposite sex that she fainted as soon as a boy touched her. Did Chinatsu have a similar fear? No, of course not. That's just absurd. Things like that only happen in manga. So if Chinatsu was afraid of me, she wouldn't have spoken to me so freely, especially not in the hot springs. But in that case, why did she look so deathly afraid of me? Maybe I misread the atmosphere? Perhaps Chinatsu doesn't like me after all? As I stared at the ceiling, trying to fall asleep, I kept replaying the moment on the bridge over and over. The look on Chinatsu's face, the utter fear in her eyes, her lips parted as though she was about to scream. I just don't get it. Was it really so wrong to want to hold her hand? Oh. Summer break went by slowly, almost like a dream. I spent my days in relative isolation, cursing myself for the mistake which cost me a summer full of fond memories. Every day I thought about Chinatsu. I thought about what transpired between us, what I could do to make things right. No matter how much I thought about it, no matter how many times I visited the bridge, there was no signs of her. As I grew increasingly desperate, I considered my options. Unfortunately, I couldn't call a girl without a mobile phone, nor could I simply show up on her doorstep. No matter what plan came to mind, it all seemed to be for naught. I can't believe she avoided me the entire summer break. But with school resuming today, we are bound to see one another again. Even if it's only for a moment. After such an isolated break, I craved the mere sight of Chinatsu. I did my best to keep the situation to myself, not telling a soul what had happened, and in doing so I ignored my friends. But even that, I couldn't tell them what happened between me and Chinatsu, and I felt private, like an argument between lovers. Chinatsu and I, lovers? I'm not even sure if our pointless conversations amount to us being friends. After all, if we really were friends, surely Chinatsu would have given some explanation for her sudden disappearance. As things are, I can only assume that she's trying to avoid me, and that thought hurts.
Hide, are you okay?
That's his mother.
Jesus Christ.
I gripped my chopsticks, my fingers trembling, still unable to stop thinking of Chinatsu.
Hideki, Earth to Hide.
Just what is she doing? Is she having breakfast with her family too? I wonder if she's thinking about me. Probably not.
Hide, are you listening to me?
I jumped up.
Work.
I jumped up, my eyes wide open. My mother was leaning across the table, peering at me with her wide eyes. We're so close that our noses almost bump. I must have really been spacing out to not notice something like that. I shuffled back on my chair, then looked down at my legs, my face flushed. Honestly, you shouldn't get that close. It's weird.
Weird? How is that weird? I'm your mother, Hide.
Okay, I gotta stop with that voice. I can't do it.
I gave birth to you. And we were locked lot closer in the past, you know. It feels like only yesterday that your breakfast came from Mommy's.
I get it. I get it already. Honestly, what is wrong with my mother, this mother of mine? I was already hesitating to eat. Does she think the mental image of her giving birth would make me feel better? Please, Mom, can you not bring that up that kind of stuff while we're eating? I know you gave birth to me, but you don't need to remind me.
Well, I just thought I should remind you, just in case you forgot.
Forgot? How could I forget something like that?
I don't know. You've just been acting kind of distant lately. I thought you'd forgotten all about your sad, lonely mother.
Ugh, an early morning guilt trip. That's the last thing I need. While pouting, my mother sat back down on her side of the table.
Why can't a mother worry about her son anyway?
Pardon me.
It isn't weird. It's only natural that I'd fuss over you, Hide, given how depressed you've looked lately.
Be that as it may, you don't need to get in my face like that. I can't eat when you're all over me like that.
Oh, please, like you were eating your food anyway.
I Winston gripped my chopsticks more tightly. She's got me there. I've only taken a few bites out of my food, and even then I hardly tasted it. Pardon me.
Hide, what's wrong? Why have you been acting so gloom?
It's nothing. Maybe it's just the heat.
Is it true that it is true that it's been hot lately? But why did you spend so little of your summer break outside? You should have been playing with your friends, going to the pool, or somewhere with air conditioning. When I was younger, I filled my summers with excitement. Festivals, fireworks, fishing, trips to the beach, watermen smashing, kicking cans.
Yeah, she just called me boring. Nobody kicks cans nowadays, Mom. The 70s are over. Oh, snap.
Right. Now all you have those video game consoles and touchscreens, right?
That's right. There's no need to hang around in the streets at night, get bitten by cicadas, or kick empty cans for fun. In fact, I can't think of anything I would enjoy less.
Be that as it may, Mr. Grumpy, you should still find something fun to do. You may have wasted their summer break, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't find some way to enjoy your time at school.
I know that, Mom. I'm not in the mood. I just can't stop thinking about Chinatsu. I'm not sure why I'm so devoted, given that the two of us aren't overly familiar, but I do consider her a precious friend, maybe even something more. Either way, right now I just feel dejected. Dejected and lonely.
Oh, silly Hide.
My mother once again leaned across the table, knocking over a bottle of ketchup as she did, and ruffled my hair. Hey, knock that off. I'm not a kid anymore.
You might as not be a kid, but you're still my kid, and I still worry about you.
Ruffle, ruffle.
You have to get out there, Hide. Seize the day. Carpe diem.
Hold on, guys. I'll just be right. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I was called to go do something quick. Anyways, we are now going to continue on from where we left off, as per usual. You mean carpe diem, right?
Whatever. Either one.
Only one of them is right. It's sad.
It's sad seeing you skulk around the house like this. You should go and do something wild. Something exciting.
Pardon me. On a school day? Shouldn't you have made that point weeks ago?
Irrelevant. You only live once, Hide. Seize the day.
These platitudes all sound very impressive when my mother says them, but that's all they are, platitudes. Just inspirational blips of sound, devoid of any real meaning. In my mother's case, however, I know that she means them. My mom might not be the best cook, and she can be a little ditzy, but she's always earnest and sincere. Thinking like that, I can't help but feel guilty. Am I letting her down, whiling away my youth at home? But even if I am, I can't help it. I don't want to go to festivals, light fireworks, split watermelons at the beach, or kick cans in the street. I just want to talk to Chinatsu. Despite my mother's efforts to cheer me up, I continued to sulk as the next stage of my morning began. Dressed, fed, and ready for school, I automatically headed to the bridge, a trip made countless times over the break. But as I unconsciously began to walk there, my pace slowed, and my resolve dropped. Do I really want to see Chinatsu again? I barely know the girl, and ever since our last encounter, her existence has caused me nothing but pain. On the other hand, I'm never going to get anywhere if I give up all hope. Perhaps there's a perfectly good reason why I didn't see her all summer. Chinatsu could have had vacation somewhere with her parents and forgot to tell me, or purposely chose not to, after what transpired between us. I ran through several scenarios in my head, assuring myself that Chinatsu had a legitimate reason for vanishing over the break. Whatever the case, now that school started up again, I should finally get to see her again. Even if I don't see her by the bridge, I can always seek her out in the clubroom. And when I do, what then? I'm still not entirely sure what I did wrong back then, but maybe I should open up with an apology. I owe Chinatsu at least that much. After that, we can put whatever just happened in the past behind us, and we can become friends again. Because right now, there's nothing more I want than that. As expected, on the first day back at school, the morning classroom was full of life. Many students hadn't seen each other over the break. There were plenty of stories to be told, so peace wasn't going to come easily. Girls banded together in groups, complimenting one another on new haircuts and talking about new singles released by their favorite idols. Guys sat and chatted about the cute girls they met while visiting family in the countryside, and the latest video games to be released. Amidst all this, I sat alone, removed from the action, feeling like a stranger. I continued to ignore Rio, telling him to leave me alone, and truly left myself isolated. I just can't get into it today. All of their conversations feel so petty and pointless, not to mention the collective noise that this class is generating. I've only just sat down and I already want the day to be over. As the homeroom teacher finally arrives, everybody eventually settles down. They still whisper to one another and discreetly pass notes, but the noise is gone, and I can relax once more. Hey Aki, how was your summer vacation? Once lunchtime finally rolled around, Megami, who was busy with student council work before homeroom, came bound to go over to my desk. The silence was short-lived after all. I don't want to hurt Megami's feelings, but I'm really not in a good mood right now. It was pretty uneventful, I suppose. Although I simply didn't want to talk, I certainly wasn't lying. Other than that, than the incident with Chinatsu right after the starter break, I didn't do anything but noteworthy. Hee hee. So you're trying to sound all mysterious, are you? Mysterious? Yeah. Like if I told you what I did during summer, I'm afraid I'd have to kill you. I don't remember saying anything like that. Does she think I'm a secret agent or something? I really never know what this girl is thinking. Anyway, sorry I didn't walk to school with you, Aki. You know I wanted to, but I had some student council work to do, so I had to arrive early. There's a lot of work for me to do, and there's still plenty left, so I'll probably be busy for a while. But not so busy that we can't hang out, okay? I didn't get to see you at all over summer break, so we need to make up for lost time. Damn, this girl talks so quickly that I'm surprised she has time to breathe. Her lungs must be made of iron. Have you ever considered becoming an auctioneer, Megami? Megami blinked and tipped her head to the side, totally bewildered by my statement. No, why do you ask? No reason. I guess she hasn't realized it herself yet. Anyway, I feel kind of bad that I wasn't able to walk to school with you, Aki, especially after I already promised. I hate breaking promises, both as a pure-hearted girl and as the class rep. What are you talking about? I don't remember any promise like that. Well, maybe I didn't make the promise with you, but I definitely promised myself. Sounds about right. Although I don't dislike Megami, her sugar-like tendencies and airheaded nature drive me crazy. Seriously, how do you break a non-existent promise? And why should her promise involve showing up unannounced on my doorstep? Really, this girl. No, wait a minute. Maybe this is actually some kind of high-level manipulation technique. Maybe she's trying to guilt trip me. Use a fake promise as leverage. So this girl is more crafty than I thought. So, since I felt so bad about it, thought I should at least eat lunch with you. I mean, we hardly got to talk to each other at all over the holidays. I've really missed you, you know? There it is. She broke a promise with herself, and now it's somehow my duty to make amends. Usually I'd happily go along with her nonsense, but right now, no. I flatly refuse. Megami continued to stare at me, sucking me in with her beautiful hypnotic eyes. Not good, she's almost got me there, but I've made up my mind. Even if it's unfair to Megami, I won't be playing along. Come on, Aki. I'm going to eat out in the courtyard with some of my friends. You're more than welcome to join in. There's the excuse I need. My current frame of mind, I don't know if I'm really in the mood to interact with other human beings. Just sitting there and talking with Megami is already taking a toll on me. Starting to think how I'd cope out in the courtyard surrounded by a squadron of Megami's equally loud talkative friends. It's alright, Megami. I mean, I already opened my lunch, so... Oh, but you can pack that up in a second. You only need to put the lid back on. Darn common sense once again. But why does Megami only seem to possess common sense when it's to my detriment? I know, but I really don't want to eat outside. I have heat stroke. You do? Megami began to panic, her eyes wide open with worry. Are you sure you don't want me to take you to the school nurse, Hide? You don't feel faint, do you? I'm okay, I just have sensitive skin, so I'd prefer to sit inside if that's okay with you. Okay, I understand. Megami agreed, but the worry on her face was overshadowed by disappointment. Watching her feel so disheartened, I actually felt kind of bad for lying to her. I feel like I just left my dog at home, knowing it'd be lonely all day without me. Look, Megami can handle this much, right? She said herself that she'd be with her other friends. Well, if you change your mind, feel free to come and join us, Hide. We'd love to talk to you. So she says, but I never even met Megami's friends, outside of our mutual friends like Ryo. I really can't imagine why they would, in her words, love to talk to me. Of course, I know that Megami really means that she would love to have me around, but I shifted in my seat as the guilt mounted. I'm sorry, Megami. I'll talk to you later, okay? Okay. Maybe we can walk to school together tomorrow. She's actually asking permission. That's a first. Maybe. Great. And I'll see you later, Hide. Enjoy your lunch. I will. And, if you have sensitive skin, make sure to put on a lot of sunscreen, okay? I know that people think sunscreen is something you only put on at the beach, but they're wrong. You need to take care of yourself, okay? Don't worry, I will. And the guilt mounts further, making the usual airheaded, talkative Megami so worried and serious. I feel like I've committed a mortal sin. On the other hand, it's kind of refreshing to see this side of Megami. I always thought she acted more like a puppy than a class rep, but she actually has quite a motherly side to her. There might just be more to Megami than I thought. Alright, bye-bye, Hide. Bye. Megami finally left the classroom, holding her own lunchbox in her hands. Along with Megami, the stress and guilt eating at me died down, leaving only a painful reminder. I can't keep living like this.
Yes, you can. Embrace your hatred.
Go full goth.
I don't care. Black Veil Brides is such an amazing band. I just don't care.
Alright, this is it. I steadied myself as I stood in front of a small classroom, shoved right at the back of the old building in which the club rooms reside. The sign on the door, discolored by age, clearly read Literature Club. Although I have only been here twice before, the experiences won't soon fade. It was sure kind of surreal sitting by Chinatsu's side, listening as she verbally escorted me into another world. I paused as my hand neared the door, afraid to knock. My heart began to pounding in my chest, my breathing hesitant. This room, in which the person I so longed to see might be present, scared me. What am I doing? Why am I hesitating now? Ever since that incident, all I've thought about was seeing Chinatsu again, so why? Why am I hesitating now? There's no guarantee that Chinatsu will ever even be in there. She might have skipped out on club activities for the day. Either way, I'll never know unless I take a plunge and open the door. Excuse me, sorry for the intrusion. Softly muttering under my breath, I finally took the door handle in my hand. To my relief, the door swung open easily. It wasn't locked. Does that mean Chinatsu is here after all? I looked around the room anxiously, searching for the sole member of the literature club. As I did, I took in a familiar sight at the open windows, the wooded floors and chairs, the books piled high, and Chinatsu, sitting at the table, wielding a thick paper back in one hand. Chinatsu paid the book in front of her no mind. Instead, her eyes remained fixated, staring right at me. I should have expected as much. I did just come in here uninvited after all. She must be surprised. Is that why she's blushing? I took one awkward step into the literature room, then another. Chinatsu isn't the only one blushing. I know I am too. Hey there, Chinatsu. I haven't seen you in a while. Hideki-kun. Chinatsu bowed her head. Is she trying to hide her face from me? Maybe she thinks that will help obscure her blush. If she does, it's too late. I've already seen it. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I saw you, Hideki. My parents took me away on a holiday, so I didn't get a chance to see you. He was away on a holiday after all. What a relief. Contrary to my initial relief, it didn't take long for doubt to set in. It was a likely story, one I had mused myself, far more comforting than if she simply didn't want to see me. But with her voice trembling so obviously, not to mention the rest of her body, I couldn't believe it. Still, I don't want to cross-examine her. I'm not a detective. This isn't a crime drama, and there's no dead body. Hitting Chinatsu with a string of questions would be a terrible way to reunite after all this time. That's right. Your parents sound kind of impulsive, just like my mom. Although I resolved myself not to interrogate Chinatsu, even I noticed the tone of suspicion in my voice. What am I doing? Am I trying to push her away from me? Silly enough, my comment merited a further unease on Chinatsu's part. Her skin tinted light pink only moments ago turned so white that she looked ill. But Hideki-kun, I just don't think that we should see each other anymore. I took a step backwards, as though I had been struck. My chest hurt, and I found it hard to breathe. What are you talking about? I'm not saying this to hurt you, but I don't think this will work. Our friendship? If you just wanted to be friends, then that would be alright, I suppose. Even if that would inevitably hurt you too. Natsu bit her lower lip. But that isn't all you want, is it? I mean, after all, you tried to hold my hand. So she did notice. I wasn't just being paranoid. After I tried to hold her hand, she really did start to avoid me. Painful to think about, but at least that's one mystery solved. I just think that I'm wrong for you, Hideki. Liking me, loving me, you'll only become more and more unhappy. The scene unfolding before me felt unreal, like something from a TV drama. A young girl softly spoken and mysterious, and a young boy desperately in love together in the rundown literature club room after school. It's so cliche I thought I could laugh if it didn't hurt so much. Chinatsu could have kicked me or spat on me, and it probably would hurt less than these vague, mysterious, incomprehensible words of warning. Would it kill her to be a little more precise? Well, let's put love aside for now. I mean, we're both in high school. It's too early to talk about things like that, right? So can't we at least be friends? I don't know. It's complicated, Hidekin. Really complicated. How complicated can it be? I don't understand. I don't think Chinatsu is a bad person. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Even so, I'm beginning to think that she's playing mind games with me. It's obvious that there's something she wants to say, but for whatever reason, she won't. Is it her parents? Maybe they're strict and they don't like her hanging out with friends when she should be studying? Or maybe it's another commitment. Does she have a part-time job? No, if either one of those were the case, then why does she hang around the bridge in town so often? Did her circumstances suddenly change? A death in the family, perhaps? I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws here. It's all I can do, given that she hasn't told me exactly what is wrong. Even if it's complicated, can't you try to break it down for me a little? I can't. Why not? I just can't. Were it not for the pained look on her face, I might have thought Chinatsu was toying with my feelings. But her brow furrowed, her teeth almost drawing blood from her lip. I knew that wasn't the case. It looked like she was trying to stop herself from saying something she might regret later. But what could it be? Look, Chinatsu, I don't want... Look, Chinatsu, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I just want to know if I did anything or said anything. I want to know if there's anything I can do to fix this. Chinatsu winced as though I just slapped her. I'm sorry, Hideaki-kun. You didn't do anything wrong. This is all my fault. I've never spoken to you to begin with. I'm sorry for putting you through all this. It's all because I was so selfish. I should have known it would work out this way. Why am I so stupid? Chinatsu's chest heaved, and her voice grew faint, as though she was grasping for air, drowning. Hearing her pained voice, I felt the same discomfort. Guilt racked my mind, and her misery hurt me deeply. Even though she says I didn't do anything wrong, I can't help but feel like this is my fault. I'm the reason for that distorted expression on her face. I'm sure of it.
If being wrong is right, then I don't want to be right. Or is that wrong?
No, if being wrong is right, then I don't want to be wrong. Oh, if being right is wrong, then I don't want to be right. If only I knew the reason why. Chinatsu, please, tell me what's wrong.
She has
Chinatsu took a step backward, totally ignoring my request. Hideaki. Chinatsu said my name in a faint voice. Do you remember that little novel we used to read together? Alone Universe? Yeah, why bring it up now? We never had time to finish the story together. Do you ever wonder what happens in the end? I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in knowing how it ends. Chinatsu picked up the novel that was on the table next to her. She looked at the cover a few seconds, then her eyes were back on me. You see, the boy was left all alone in that cold cottage with no trace of anyone else. The boy grew really attached to the other three that time that he met in that cottage. They were the only people he knew in that vast empty world. But in a blink of an eye, they all disappeared. The boy was really sad. He was devastated and didn't know how to cope with this feeling. He started blaming himself for the absence, saying that if it wasn't for him, they could have still been living happily in that cozy cottage right now. That's why he decided to continue his story, his empty, endless journey all on his own. Even if he saw a sign of living being, he would just avoid it. He thought to himself, if I don't meet new people, then I wouldn't get hurt again. And with that, he just kept walking endlessly alone. Why did Chinatsu feel like telling me the end of the story now? Was it supposed to mean something? Did Chinatsu decide to read this story with me because she likes it? Or is there some other reason? I mean, what is the moral of the story?
Sam.
Is it implying that being alone is a good thing? To distance yourself from others, to not meet new people because you're afraid of getting attached to them, then lose them. The boy at the end wasn't happy. I don't get it. Chinatsu. I took it forward and reached out, as my hand neared Chinatsu, I once again realized how clueless I was. Really, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Pat her on the shoulder? Would that be too distant? On the head? No. That would be too belittling. Then would I dare hug her? Or would that just upset Chinatsu even more?
She has a dick.
I continued to internally debate the best course of action, wasting every moment until Chinatsu broke the silence. I'm sorry, Hideki. I have to go. And on that garbled note, Chinatsu rushed off. Chinatsu rose to her feet quickly. Then she almost knocked her chair over, then raced out of the room like a whirlwind. Man, with agility like that, maybe she'd think about running but tracking me. I joked with myself in an attempt to ignore Chinatsu's desperate need to distance herself from me. But as I looked out at my still outstretched arms and my trembling fingers, I knew it wouldn't be that easy. I'm so useless. I was standing right there between Chinatsu and the door, and yet I couldn't stop her.
That's about time. Jesus Christ.
It does seem a little strange, though. When Chinatsu scrambled to her feet, my fingers should have brushed her shoulders or at least her long black hair, and yet for some reason I didn't feel a thing. I shook my head,
She's a ghost.
trying to remove the scene from my mind. No, that's just silly.
She's a ghost.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
She's secretly a ginger.
Looking for something to take my mind off my own distress, I spotted something out of the corner of my eye. Just as I prepared to leave, an item sitting on the tabletop drew my attention. It was the book Chinatsu had been reading. Curious, I approached the book and picked it up. Ah, so it's Natsume Soseki Kokoro. I studied this book before, back in my old school. Trust Chinatsu to read the Japanese classics for fun. I don't remember what happened in the book very well, but I do remember that it didn't have a happy ending. If I recall correctly, didn't the book end when the main character committed suicide? I frowned at the thought. In Chisana's gloomy disposition, this book seemed perfectly suited to her. I just hope it doesn't give her any ideas. Okay guys, I've been going for a good hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to cut it off here, and I'm going to do the rest of Chinatsu's arc next week.
When you find out she has a penis.
So I hope you guys all have enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe down below for more. The next episode will be the last one, so that'll be the end of this visual novel.